No, this is
One
how
you
the
don't
barber
like?
did it. No,
Yeah.
this is how the barber did it. It's a
Looks
little bit.
fine.
I don't know. I like it a little bit more up, a little loose, a little more
Yeah.
carefree. I don't even know how to explain it. You cut your own hair.
Yeah, I generally do. I have my friend basically fixing mistakes that I make, if I need it. But
If you need
yeah.
it, how often do you need it?
well, the problem is like I'll do my own haircut for a while, and then eventually, it's just the lengths are all different. It's like the science fair project, so I just go in there,
Becomes a mess.
every couple months, and be like, all right, you gotta reset this, and then I can try to keep it,
Why don't you
from
just
there
have
I
your
can
wife
set it.
do it? I mean, you get a pretty basic cut.
Yeah, my wife doesn't really just hasn't done it before, and I don't trust her.
But you trust yourself.
Yeah, because I've done it several times. I mean, I know kind of how to do it. Again, it takes me a long time. I'm still working on my craft.
Working on your craft.
Yeah,
so
like a 30-minute haircut takes me like an hour and a half because I'm always like detailing and
right.
trying to fix.
How's
this
that
and
work out for you?
That's all right. It's at least something. It's kind of fun. It's something to do at
I
least.
mean, I guess it is something to do.
Yeah,
but-
and it saves me some money.
I mean, it does save you some. Haircuts are kind of expensive. Mine, I believe, was $25.
Yeah,
Which
is that before tip or
no, that's with tip. Which
Okay.
I mean, it's not terrible. It could be a lot worse.
right?
Nick spends a lot of money on his haircuts, and he gets a haircut like every 3 weeks.
Oh, I know. And he gets his beard like
And he gets his beard trimmed.
trimmed,
No,
yeah.
see, come on. But I don't know. But see, you guys are all beard guys. I think I'm the only one here that clean shaves.
You're not allowed to have a beard though on TV.
No,
are you?
no. I did the no shave November for like 2 weeks, and like, yeah, you had your fun. You're done.
They told you
So yeah,
that's
'Cause
enough.
I can't. I mean, I can grow kind of a beard. I get a little bit of some scruff,
Yeah,
but it's patchy, so it doesn't grow in full, so it doesn't look very good. Also, it's blonde, so
Yeah.
that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. If it takes an hour, does it really save you any money?
yeah. Well, I mean, otherwise I'd just be at home.
Time
sitting on the
is
couch.
money, Bach.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree.
I mean, what else are you gonna be doing?
I mean, and I'm doing it. I've done it again over the years. So yes, over the years, it definitely has saved me money. I get what he's saying though. It takes me longer.
How often do you trim your beard?
I don't know.
You should clean shave sometime. You should clean. I
Oh,
just
no.
want to see it.
Oh no.
When's the last time you clean shaved?
Hopefully the last time I'll ever do it again. I don't like it.
What do you
does
mean you
something
don't
to
like
kid.
it?
Yeah, this kind of my beard covers up my double chin a bit. So
Oh, see, there you go.
yeah,
There's no hiding it.
yeah.
And the camera adds 10 pounds. So basically, I'm just screwed no matter what. But you've never seen me with a beard then.
No,
Always clean shaven.
yeah.
The old school.
I haven't
look.
seen you with a mullet either.
The mullet was awesome.
Yeah,
The mullet was really good. A haircut isn't expensive when your dad is a barber. Booyah. Eric,
Nice.
good for you. That's honestly the way to do it. And then Randy says Bach is an Iron Man.
that's right.
I don't understand.
I don't know what that means either, but I think it's a compliment, so I'll
Is it?
definitely take it. I don't
you
know.
should take it, I guess. But your hair, I will say, for you cutting it yourself, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad. My friend did the last one.
Oh, well, that would explain that.
I generally have like a mistake that I make and then try. That's what takes so long is then we'll have to make a mistake to try to cover it.
Stripes. in your
Yeah,
hair.
that's really cool for a 32-year-old. A little lightning bolt.
Stripes. Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You should do it. Come on.
I think I'm gonna do the thing where I have like 2 different lines down my eyebrow.
There you go. That would also be cool.
Yeah.
I saw a picture the other day with you with long hair.
Yeah.
Jesus, Bach.
Yes. It was. Yeah, that was nice.
It was.
I need to grow it out again
Is that
someday.
what you were going to? You said.
I know. The problem is middle hair.
Yeah.
You look like a teenager, a scruffy
Yeah.
teenager that won't get a haircut.
That was the problem when I was growing out my mullet. My hair looked really bad for a while. Then I did the headband thing,
yeah.
and I just looked like an idiot.
You got to try to cover it, or you can wear a hat for a while. It's just a long time. I have like, I don't even know. I'm very like, it bothers me. I cut like hair off of me every day. I'm very much bothered by hair, despite I'm cursed with it. So
But
it's
you
one
have
of the curse.
facial hair.
Well, yeah. No, I'm not like bothered by facial hair. I don't know. It's just like I grow hair all the time, everywhere.
I do too.
So
I'm just a hair
yeah,
dude. Which
yeah.
is why it's frustrating. Like I can grow hair basically like full everywhere except for my face. And just 2 little spots on my cheeks. Also, Kelsey says, Nate, how many McChickens do you think you could eat in an hour? That's throwing
It
shade
wasn't
at
an
you,
hour.
Bach.
It wasn't.
How
an
long
hour.
was
it? Was
it?
3 hours.
3 hours. How many did you eat?
I think. What did we try to do? Was it 10 or 12 or something like that?
12 in 3 hours?
It was supposed to. So I was going to do one basically per segment. So I think it
Dude,
was.
You could do that so easily.
It was 10. But the problem was, first of all, you get pretty full.
Yeah, you probably do.
Second of all,
It's not very good. It's processed too, so it probably sits in your stomach.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste great.
it'd be nice like if I got a fresh McChicken every through, but we got them
Oh,
all
so
at
they're just
once,
sitting
and then
there?
they just sat there
You
and
can
they
microwave 'em.
became even more disgusting. No,
Did you microwave?
too much bread.
Here's the
Just
thing.
too much bread.
Here's the thing. So Kelsey, I guess I'll do it in an hour, and then I'll do box 3 hours because this is one thing. I don't know if you've seen the fantasy football punishments where you have to go to Waffle House. You guys don't have a Waffle House here. I don't know what the best example would be. Denny's. You have to eat 24 waffles, and every time that you eat a waffle, an hour gets shaved off your time. And I stand by. I would be in there for an hour.
What do you mean an hour gets shaved off?
So say you eat a waffle, then it's only 23 hours. You eat another waffle, you're only in there for 22 hours. You eat a third waffle, you're only there for 21 hours. So basically, once you eat 24, if you eat 24 waffles in the first hour, you can leave. But there was this one guy I knew who was in there for like 18 hours. I'm like, dude, just eat the waffles. Get out of there. The waffle challenge, I could probably get out in 2. If you gave me 1 hour, Kelsey, I think I could eat 10.
10 waffles?
10 McChickens.
Oh, 10 McChickens?
I stand by. I think if I lived a dual life, I would be a professional eater. I can eat a lot of food, and I can eat it fast.
You're gonna have to prove it. Yeah, sometime we gotta get you on the McChicken challenge because it's disgusting and it's a lot more difficult. Like I was the same way. I'd be like, yeah, I mean, obviously, I just eat it up, and then it just was difficult and it was not worth it.
Oh, I could so do it.
You need a prize at the end. You need something to
Do you
push
need an
you.
incentive?
Yeah.
So how many did you end up eating?
I only ate like 6 or something.
Dude,
Maybe I don't even remember.
6 in 3 hours.
I'm
You should
pretty
be
sure
ashamed.
Onweiler came in and ate the rest of them.
How many
might have
did you
been
have?
5
How many
and 5.
were you going for?
I can't
12?
remember now. I think it might have been 12 or 10.
Kelsey, do
Either
you
way, I
remember?
didn't make it anywhere close. I might have even eaten like 5.5. And just
Kelsey's
been like, I'm not
saying
gonna
that
make it.
you should get some McChickens and put it to the test.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for the McChickens, especially now with inflation. How much is a McChicken now? $1.70?
Could be.
See, when I was pounding McChickens back in the day, they were like $1.
Yeah, they're on I think they still have the dollar menu.
They don't have a dollar menu. They have the value menu.
Okay, the value
Nothing
menu.
is $1 these days. Even Dollar Tree got rid of the dollar.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on that. Wet Blanket says listening to 2 men talk about growing and shaving hair is exactly why I tuned in today. Thanks, guys. Look, I didn't say that was Buck. I was just saying I got a haircut today. That's all I was saying. You can check it out on the video stream. I got a haircut. Tell me, guys, whether you guys like it or not. I get it really short on the sides.
Yeah.
But we can move on. We have actual things to talk about. I'm sorry that I derailed the conversation with my facial hair and my haircut today. Also, the fact that I think I could beat everyone here in some type of eating contest. I don't care who it is. Joey Chestnut's only like 225 pounds, which I don't know where that guy. And Kobayashi, who used to be really good. I love professional eating. Kobayashi used to be like the champion before Joey Chestnut, was a skinny dude. And he just pounded hot dogs for the 4th of July hot dog eating contest. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
They dip it in the water and scoop it into their mouth. It's a sport.
It's really gross. Yeah, it's disgusting. I think a few of us that have at least been here long enough have been turned off a bit from food eating contests for people that aren't professionals. Because I mean, we did it one year. Like my former partner Tom Stevens did it, and in 3 days, like a few days later, he had a heart attack. So we're all just
oh
like,
my god,
we're not gonna do
okay,
that.
yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
Actually, I take it back. Kelsey says it was 10 or 12. You should be able to get 10 McChickens, Bob. Come on. Justin says I've been known to eat 4 McChickens in 30 minutes. I could do that. I used to do the where you put the McDouble and the McChicken together and make it one sandwich.
Why?
I could eat like 3 of those in like one sitting. I used to eat a lot of food, and then I started watching my figure a little bit more.
Yeah.
In my best interest not to eat 6 sandwiches at McDonald's in one sitting. Eric says, back in the day, Nick, aren't you like 21? You don't have back in the day yet. Eric, I don't know why. If this has happened a few times, people think that Nick and I are the same person behind the microphone.
Yeah,
we sound pretty similar.
Might be the same.
Eric, I'm about to turn 24. So actually next month.
So back in the day was 3 years ago.
No. See, when I used to I think I was a junior or senior in high school when I used to really eat
It seemed
McDonald's
like
a
high
lot.
school is the peak age to eat
Eat McDonald's.
just
McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King.
Like,
absolutely.
but eat a large
And
amounts
eat
of
a
all
lot of it
Yes.
because that's kind of your last days where you can get away with it before your metabolism is just shot.
I'm fairly certain I ate a whole carton of ice cream one time when I was at a junior in high school.
And now if you did that, I don't know if I'm lactose intolerant or what, but if I eat 4 scoops of ice cream, I'm like, oh, it's sitting right. And I drink a lot of milk too. I switched to skim milk. Eric
nice.
says, "LOL."
I'm
I'm
1%
Nate. I
guy.
know you're different people, just thought the same age. No, I'm actually about to be 24. Speaking of which, Bach, I'm getting you a birthday present.
That's right.
And so, what are you going to give me?
We have the same birth month.
We do. What are you going to give me?
You're
You're going to be gone, so you better ship it in the mail. I can give you my address. I'm not going to give it to
Yeah.
you on air, but I'll give you my address.
Well,
You can ship me something.
yours is the 24th or something.
23rd.
23rd. Yeah, I'll be gone. I might just bring it back. Tell you what, if Virginia Tech makes a College World Series, I'll watch them for you.
What is that? No, I want something. They might.
Yeah, I'll get you a Virginia Tech something or other.
They're the number 4 overall seed.
Yeah,
They're pretty good.
did they win the ACC tournament?
They won the regular season tournament,
Yeah.
and then UNC won it, who was the 8th seed, and now UNC is the 10 overall seed in the college baseball overall tournament. So they put a lot of stock into the ACC championship, which I understand, but going from the 8th seed in the ACC tournament to the 10th seed overall, that's a little bit of a
How many
reach to me.
ACC
That's a
teams
little bit of a
made it?
reach. I think 9.
Yeah, that's how much the SEC has too.
I think
So,
it's
that is a
9.
gauntlet of a tournament.
No, it is, and that's why they gave Virginia Tech the 4, is because they were outright regular season champs.
Yeah.
So they gave them a really high seed. I don't know. And the Big Ten got what, 1?
They got 2.
2? Maryland.
Maryland and Michigan.
And Michigan wouldn't have gotten in if they hadn't won the Big Ten.
No, and we'll just do that. We were kind of moving things around, but we'll talk baseball because that was kind of
We'll
the
get into
the
it.
news of the weekend is that Big Ten baseball still is not respected whatsoever, and in fact, they had one of its worst years, which was somewhat, I guess. I mean, you could kind of see it kind of playing out, right? I mean, the powers, the ones that you'd hope would be good, that generally, Nebraska, Indiana, and even Michigan didn't look too good this year. Rutgers, Maryland kind of took over. Maryland, for some reason, and then you'd have to ask somebody, that falls a little closer to me. They have a mad respect out of the Big Ten. They're like, they're like number 10 in the nation, whatever.
Right.
Just a shoe-in for the tournament. Nobody else is good enough to make it, apparently. Rutgers, and this is what I don't like about the whole deal for Rutgers is they didn't get in based on the regular season alone, which they finished 44-15.
That's insane.
And then they lost the Big Ten tournament, but they lost it in a way like they through the winners bracket. So they only lost one game. Michigan lost one game, but the one that Rutgers lost apparently matters more because the double elimination tournament only came to a head of the championship game. So Rutgers didn't have the chance to lose twice. And even though, so Michigan basically stole their bid from them.
Rutgers
and
went
runs
to the
away
Big
with
Ten
it.
championship.
Right. Rutgers, it's not like they were kind of on the bubble and then bombed in the tournament. Then you could see them not making it. But a lot of people are pretty upset about Rutgers not being well represented. But again, it goes back to the fact that the Big Ten, not a baseball league, and had a down year. Still, I can't imagine going 44-15. If Nebraska did that, especially coming off the Big Ten championship they're in, I think that
I would be livid.
There has to be something to the brand name. I know, like, they haven't been since like 2007 or something. I mean, Rutgers is not a baseball school, but I think Sip was saying they like lead the nation in runs per game with 9 point something. I was just crazy to see that because coming in, you thought, okay, Rutgers and Maryland are in. And if Iowa wins the tournament, or at least makes a big run, whoever wins the tournament's obviously in, but Iowa could help themselves that weekend. And apparently it just wasn't enough. And it's disappointing for Big Ten baseball to be seen this way. At the same time, it's nothing new. I mean, it's a continual thing, and it's a down year for the league, I suppose. But I don't know. I've never thought that even when Rutgers joined the tournament or joined the Big Ten that I'd be upset for Rutgers, right? Nebraska's not even like a brethren of the Big Ten. They're an addition, but I don't really view Rutgers as a brother or somebody that I'll stick up for usually. But this time I do feel a little bit bad for him because I don't care who you're playing in baseball,
44 games,
44
a lot of wins.
15.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Just about what more are you supposed to do to get a chance at the postseason? I just very disappointing to see that, and obviously doesn't have much to play for. I mean, the whole tournament was kind of weird in Omaha. They were playing games at like 3 a.m.
That was very bizarre.
Yeah, it was just kind of a mess.
I just don't like. I genuinely want to know what the difference was. It had to have been out of conference schedule, but Maryland, I'm pretty sure, is hosting a region. Or
I think so.
if they're not, you're going to have to check that for me, Bach. But I'm pretty sure Maryland's hosting a region and had a very similar record than Rutgers. And Rutgers went to the Big Ten championship game. And on top of that, won just as many games. So I don't understand where's the difference there. And then look, I understand that you're sending 9 SEC teams, 9 ACC team, whatever. It's the conference. I get all that, but I'm going to assume none of those schools that were in the bottom half of the SEC or ACC had 44 wins. And I'm an ACC homer. I'll defend the ACC till the day that I die. But this is just bizarre. And I don't know if something like what you said, that they haven't been in a while, the Big Ten doesn't get the respect. Like, sure, I get all that, but 44 wins?
Yeah.
Like, goodness gracious. But the thing is, if you're the Big Ten, how do you view this holistically, right? Is that if you have a team that wins 44 games and they still don't get in, how do you change that? How do you change that narrative? And then when you have a team like Nebraska last year, which we found out that Nebraska has their flaws. I know they lost a lot of pieces, but Nebraska has their flaws. That you win the Big Ten, you have a very good season, and then you're essentially the 32nd best team in the nation. You have to play the 1 seed. So even in that scenario where you have a great season, you still get screwed at the end of the day because you're in the same region as the best team in the tournament. So I have no idea how to change this. Maybe getting better recruits.
Yeah.
NIL?
Building domes, I think.
Domes, NIL. But if you're a kid that's
NIL.
playing baseball, you couldn't. I mean, are you going to be able to outbid these ACC and SEC schools? Probably not,
No,
because no one's investing into it.
it's just going to be hard ever to get, baseball rolling in the northern states. But, it is. I mean, in comparison, Maryland and Rutgers were well above everybody else. The reason why, bring up Iowa, they had 36 wins. That's a pretty solid year. But compared to 44, that's 8 more games,
And in baseball, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, that's a lot of games when you're only playing like 60 or so. So, yeah, it's just kind of tough to see it. I don't know how that's the big question, is how do the Big Ten get better? But just
where do you go from
the way
here?
that it's structurally set up? College baseball, you're playing partially in winter months, so you're not really getting your home games, and you just don't have too much of a starting point, and that's what's always kind of takes the feet out from under the Big Ten. But I always thought Nebraska, especially with having they've got enough talent in state to kind of build a little bit of a foundation, at least generally most years, and the fact that they host the College World Series, I always thought that might generate enough buzz and get them over the top as far as recruiting and being being somewhat, something a recruit would be interested in. But I don't know. We're being joined by Nick here. I think no, he's messing with some stuff. Nick, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, guys? Are we talking college baseball?
Yeah, we're upset for
towards
Rutgers.
Rutgers.
Oh my dude, don't even get me started. It just shows the lack of how. Okay, yeah. Okay, anyway, caller said that it's ridiculous, and I'm with the caller, that not more people are talking about Michigan getting caught and how they were not forced to, how they were still allowed to play in the Big Ten tournament championship game.
Yeah. You think that should have been
the Big Ten
needed Michigan altogether?
Well, the Big Ten should have stepped in. Absolutely. I think
there are
the Big
a couple
Ten
of situations where the Big Ten.
Think about this though, guys. In the grand scheme of things, where the Big Ten should have stepped in, they should have stepped in with Purdue in the regular season, right? Because for this reason, look at a team like Michigan, who is a 5 seed, right? Nebraska would have been a 7 or 8 seed, and Nebraska, in terms of the Big Ten, who's not very good at baseball, could have gotten lucky and won the tournament. And that's why a 5 seed won the tournament this year, is because the Big Ten is not good on a consistent basis outside of Maryland and maybe Rutgers, who had 40 plus wins. So then you as the Big Ten conference, you allow Purdue to just automatically get in and forfeit a game, right? We've talked about that.
Yeah.
So that's number one. That's one area that they could have stepped in. Number 2 is they suspend this pitcher for 4 games or whatever, right?
He had some substance.
Because he had some substance on his glove. But at the time, it was like the 4th or 5th inning that he got booted, and it was a 4-run ball game. And then it was eventually a 9-1 like Michigan blowout win or whatever over Iowa. Well, you have to think about it this way. Iowa is a team that if they beat whoever in the Big Ten championship game, if they beat Rutgers in the Big Ten championship game, they're in over Iowa because they have 36 wins on the season. That's nothing to scoff at. But the fact that they're in the Big Ten conference, they get screwed out of a regional. I'm not saying Iowa's good enough to make it to a regional, but that is exactly why the Big Ten needs to start caring more, is because in instances like this, where Purdue or enter anybody, if Illinois was a lower seed and Purdue's game was going to decide whether or not Illinois was going to get in, Illinois is a team that could win the Big Ten tournament. Nebraska's a team that somehow could have gotten hot in the Big Ten tournament, just like Michigan did as a lower seed, and win the conference title. But since the fact that the Big Ten conference just does not give a dang about baseball, they allow these things to slide, and now they get screwed over in the grand scheme of things because a team that has 44 wins gets left out of the tournament. 44!
That's not even, I don't even know if that's a Big Ten thing. If you look at any conference in baseball, just about every single one of you win 44 games, you're in.
It's always been
like
the benchmark is
44 wins.
The benchmark has always been 40. It's always been 40. And that was the whole thing also. And then they talk about how important RPI is.
Yeah.
Rutgers is top 50 in RPI.
Their strength of schedule is apparently what holds them back.
But that's every team in the Big Ten. And that's why it's so important to front load your schedule. So you're sitting here as a Midwest team or as a Rutgers who's in the on the East Coast that you just straight up can't like play home games in February.
That's the problem is I just when you look at that record, and I know you can dilly-dally with play this team or you shouldn't have lost even this non-con, but what are you supposed to do if you're Rutgers? If you go 44, what are you asking Rutgers to do?
Well, it's like
they have to win 50 games to get in.
Well, that's exactly
what do you want?
Like, imagine if Nebraska and Michigan, well, Michigan's obviously in because they won the title. But imagine if Nebraska had the season that I was talking to Rico about this on the Captain Show today. Like, imagine if Nebraska had the season that everybody thought that they were going to have. You would have expected probably 40 plus wins from them. They would have had a Maryland type season or a Rutgers type season. And there's 3 Big Ten teams.
Their out of conference was a lot more difficult, though.
It is. So
which
that's what I'm saying.
So they would have been in.
But that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Nebraska would have been in over Rutgers, but Rutgers would have still gotten screwed. And then you had the Big Ten title like if Nebraska and Maryland wouldn't have won the Big Ten championship. I know there's a lot of what if, and it's a scenario here. But all I'm saying is that there's this way that the Big Ten can help get some national respect on their conference, at their baseball as a conference. And by doing that is investing some time or just some attention into it.
What do you think about
spend money to make money? I'm not trying to make it to where the Big Ten needs to make money from baseball. Like that's not what they're in it for. And they're not going to ever make money on baseball in the Big Ten. But there's this thing called investing time to where Rutgers with 44 wins, it doesn't matter who wins the conference title. If you have 44 wins, you need to get in. I don't care how you did your job. You did what you could. You schedule games 2, 3, 4 years out in advance. You did your job.
And they played in the winners bracket, so they lost just as many games as Michigan. That's what I didn't like about I don't know if that's probably every tournament, but also the Big Ten tournament is you should have to, if it's a double elimination tournament, then you should have to lose twice.
Yeah.
Well,
you lost once.
Right. Just like Michigan. Doesn't make
I'm just sitting here,
doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Right? I'm just sitting here like Michigan is a 5 seed, and it just goes to show that especially in baseball and those types of sports, like you can win. Anybody can win. Anybody can get lucky, and the lower seed can win
or
and
use substances on their gloves,
and win and be okay with winning. And so it's like, and the caller was pissed, and I don't blame him one bit because Eric Bakich knows, like he knew, and he was like, oh yeah, we got caught. All right, let's just keep it going.
Yeah,
Rutgers broke a program record for wins.
Yes,
imagine breaking a program record. Be like, nah.
That's what Buck's saying. What are you supposed to say? I mean, the Big Ten. That's what I'm saying. The Big Ten was always going to get just 2 teams in all along.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Disaster. We'll take a quick break here. Come back with Brian Munson. Big recruiting weekend ahead. We'll run it down. Coming up next year on the Ticket Water Cooler 93.7 The Ticket.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cottle. The high school spring season has come to an end, but now Legion baseball is in full swing. In the senior division, Hastings defeated Kearney 9-4. Hickman defeated North Platte 9-7, and Omaha Gross defeated Omaha Skutt 16-11. The The recruiting race for Archbishop Bergen product Cade McIntyre has heated up. After a strong junior season, McIntyre has received a flurry of offers from schools like Tennessee, Oklahoma, Kansas State, and Nebraska. McIntyre is a consensus 3-star athlete and the 3rd highest ranked prospect in Nebraska. Gretna boys soccer had a team-high 5 players on the boys Super State first team, including the honorary captain, Brett Perkins. Samaya Hogg of Lincoln Southeast was named the honorary captain for the girls soccer Super State team. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine today. It'll be a little bit breezy as well. We'll see a high around 80. Tonight, partly cloudy skies are expected with a low of around 52. And tomorrow we'll see a chance of showers throughout the day. Temps will be a little bit cooler tomorrow with a high of around 68. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cutter for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Lincoln Win Air Company salutes America's troops for their sacrifices. There's no act more noble than the giving of yourself for another. As you fight for our freedom, you're in our hearts, thoughts, and daily prayers. Thank you for your selfless acts of courage and all the sacrifices you've made for our country. We wish you Godspeed. May God bless all of our troops and may God bless America. This military tribute from Lincoln Win Air Company. This nation will remain the land of the free as long as it is the home of the brave.
2022 is all about staying well. And guess what? There are lots of easy ways to take care of your mental and physical health every day, like eating right and exercising, taking vitamins, drinking water, scheduling those annual doctor's visits, or just resting. That's right, even a quick nap counts. Because let's be honest, these days we could all use a little more wellness in our lives. So stay well, Nebraska. For more ways you can stay healthy, visit staywellnebraska.com.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Call Nebraska Auto Detail today at 402-601-5086.
Win Father's Day this year with Omaha Steaks. Go to omahasteaks.com, promo code Jake for the Father's Day bundle. Again, omahasteaks.com, promo code Jake for the ultimate Father's Day bundle.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Culligan of Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Ticket Water Cooler on a Tuesday. Nice 3-day weekend. Not too bad. I hope everybody had a pretty good Memorial Day. And we want to welcome here Brian Munson of Husker Online, our regular Tuesday guest. Brian, how was your 3-day weekend? Did you get some time to relax?
It was so good, I extended it into 4.
Oh,
so
nice.
Technically took another little vacation day today, just working around the house, got some things to work on the deck and doing some work in the bedroom and just kind of doing some odds and ends because it didn't get done while the kiddo was here and he left on Sunday. So, yeah, we're getting back to normal here a little bit, but my normal officially starts tomorrow.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I found myself yesterday thinking, man, I just need a day off where I can get some stuff done. And it dawned on me, well, that was that day. That's when I should have been doing it. But, yesterday was for relaxing and barbecuing and stuff. So I couldn't do that. So
you went and saw Top Gun yesterday, and that big thumbs up for me.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I need to go see that too. I haven't seen that yet, but basically everybody I heard from has enjoyed that.
I've heard
so
nothing
far.
but good things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Saw it in IMAX. I would highly recommend. Looking forward to, getting it in front of my parents who probably are not capable of getting out there to the theater. So once that comes available out there for everybody else, it's just more of a Prime user or whatever. I'll be one of the first ones to click to buy that one because it's unbelievable.
Is it fairly obvious who the enemy is in this Top Gun? That's one of the things, the big debates with Top Gun coming out is who is the enemy in the first Top Gun? They never really said.
Yeah, I think still, it's kind of a faceless, nameless enemy, but it doesn't really come out and say it's the Russians, but they talk about a 5th generation fighter plane. The insignia kind of then sets it up as well. There's a lot of great references back to the first movie. There's a lot of great characters. The role of Iceman in the sequel. How they kind of bring Goose back into it. It's really fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait to check that out. Also, I know a lot of Husker commits or potential commits in the future. Recruits can't wait to check Lincoln out. What's the kind of camp breakdown that Nebraska's having over the next few weeks? It's June. It's camp season.
Yeah, it's camp season. It's also official visit season, and they're getting ready to actually start doing a little bit of both. And this is the busy time of year for those guys. There is no question. When they start up in June, it's like they don't come down crashing hard until July. And that in itself, it's like it makes it really difficult to kind of keep up with these guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how they really do it. So they really technically have their first Friday Night Lights camp this week. It's June 3rd. And then they have the second one, I believe it's on the 17th. And then there's a bunch of they have the traditional O-line, D-line, pipeline camp. They've got a bunch of 7-on-7 stuff and team camp. They've got some actual 7th, 8th grade stuff. That's one that my son's going to go back for. But yeah, they start off this weekend, doing their camps for the Friday Night Lights. And that's kind of where we started out, if I remember right, last year. And I think it was actually maybe the last day in May, because I think June 1 is when they could start the evaluation workouts. And they had the first guys coming in on that Saturday morning, along with the official visitors showing up during Friday Night Lights. So I assume it'll be very similar. They'll be bringing in the official visitor guests, to come down there and watch and take a look around while the camp is going on, like it was last year when we kind of remember the video of Richard Torres kind of showing up out there and Scott Frost kind of giving the kind of guns up thing, gunslinger kind of motion that he showed to him or whatever. So I think it'll be very similar. And it's a big, big group of visitors this weekend, man. I mean, 13 guys that we have confirmed coming in. So it's going to be a big weekend in Lincoln.
What is this movement, I suppose? Is it the fact that there's just a lot of in-state guys that can make the travel, or what is it? Because I kind of figured that Frost and company, with their, with the pretty obvious situation that was coming up, might struggle in recruiting this upcoming year, but it seems to be the opposite.
I think that this is elbow grease. I think that this is them going out there and doing the work. A lot of this stuff has generated new leads since January. And now, in fairness, I want to say this weekend, there is a big number of official visitors that will be there that are already committed or from the state. You've got Gunnar Gatula and Benjamin Bramer that will be there, but also Malachi Coleman will be in town. Brock Knudsen is going to be there. So you got 4 guys that are in Maverick Noon, excuse me. So you have 5 guys that'll be there that are from the state. Then you have 8 more guys that'll be there that aren't. But you've got some guys that are returning there for the second time, guys that were there for earlier junior days, guys that were there for spring game. So you're hearing a lot of recurring things. I mean, going back to the first 3 guys 2 weeks ago, if we want to go back and really revisit Jaden Doss and Dylan Edwards and Caden Green, all those guys have been in Nebraska before. A couple of those guys have been there 3 times. I think Jaden Doss is the only guy that only went there for 2 times. I think both Edwards and Green had been there 3 times at least. So all these guys that are coming up here, I mean, with maybe the exception of the defensive end out of so Ashley Williams Jr., I think everybody else that's on tap this weekend to be in town, they're all coming back for a return visit. So I think that this is heavy elbow grease. I think that this is encouraging the guys to come in on their own dime earlier on. Nebraska now working through their filters to kind of figure out who it is that they want to kind of bring in earlier on their official visit weekends. And this, I think, is kind of showing and reflecting a little bit the prioritization of the big board that Nebraska has behind the scenes. So very, very interesting weekend. Be bringing in 13 guys.
And does this kind of signify the change, like a flipping of the calendar, I suppose, from the transfer portal into recruiting for the future? I saw that the JUCO defensive line prospect Taylor Lewis no longer coming to visit Nebraska.
Yes, absolutely. So I believe that Nebraska has firmly moved on in that space. They're roughly, I want to say, they're +2 or +3, depending on how you're kind of doing the math. To bring another guy in, that Lewis, any other defensive lineman, you just further add to that total and need to have changes or things happen basically before you open up fall camp. And I think that now you're back to focusing on the 2023 group. They have gotten a little neglected, I want to say over the last month and a half before Nebraska started picking it back up again. But they were seeing all those guys on the road. All those guys were showing up at their high school. It was pretty amazing how Nebraska kind of spanned out and saw so many people in such a short amount of time during the evaluation period. But I agree with you. This is definitely a turning of the page. Nebraska's firmly back into looking at the 2023 group and trying to finish up this class.
And of course, also June means something for me as well. It means football magazine time. Are you a guy that religiously goes out and gets Lindy's or Athlon or wait for Phil Still to come out?
I do, but now since I'm coming back up to Nebraska the end of June, I'm going to wait it out to go back up there to get my Nebraska themed one.
There you go.
I don't really like traveling around unless I'm like regional on vacation and it's something weird, like where I'm in Wyoming one year or whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll pick this guy up or whatever and check it out. But I will, when I get back up there at the end of June, I'm definitely going to pick some stuff up and make a stop off to do that. But yeah, I pick them up, but I will wait this year for 3 weeks. So I'm assuming they're already out.
Yeah, I just got mine. I'm going to do a little game with you. We're waiting. I guess Athlon just released theirs too. So the comparing is always fun between the twos. But who do you think the cover guy is for Lindy's? Because I think that's difficult enough on its own to guess who that would be.
Cover guy for Lindy's. The way that you're putting this, it sounds like it's kind of off the wall. I don't know. It's obviously not any of the newcomers, not a Casey Thompson.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. I'm struggling right now to kind of figure out who this might be, but
that's what it's doing. There's no obvious choice, so they just kind of picked a guy, I think.
Caleb Tanner?
It is Ramir Johnson, who it played well enough last year, but might not be one of the top 3 guys, even if Gabe Ervin comes back healthy. I think Ramir's good. I don't like talking about it in that way because I think it puts Ramir down. And I know I knew Mark Whipple was pretty impressed with his tape, but it's just there's a lot of depth there at that position.
Well, and I guess maybe that's because wasn't out of the gates last year. Wasn't he? He wasn't the starter.
Yeah, no, he was like 4th on the depth chart then.
I'm really struggling to kind of figure that one out and why maybe a guy maybe I'm going back through this list to get in my head. Caleb Tanner to me probably makes the most sense, but I'm a little bit stunned by what you just told me. Have you gotten the Athlon one yet, or do you have a preview?
I don't have a preview of that. I think they just maybe put it out because I saw some articles about it, but I have not seen the magazine, so I don't know who the cover guy is for that one.
I will be looking forward to seeing that, but now I know what to look for when I see the Lindy's one when I get up there at the end of June. So
yeah.
I am looking forward to checking that out myself.
Yeah, always good time. I love this college football preseason magazines, and I love every Tuesday when we have Brian Munson on. Thanks once again for your time, Brian.
All right. Talk to you guys next week.
All right. There he goes. Brian Munson of Husker Online. We thank him for joining us every Tuesday. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for box history lessons. We're on 2012. The year is 2012. We've got a song to kind of get you in the mood.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll go over that year. It was kind of a year of the comeback Cats. No, they're not Cats. The comeback Huskers in 2012. Didn't end so hot, though, but we'll talk about that next. Coming up here on the Ticket Water Cooler, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. Springtime is here, and that means you're outside more in nice weather and maybe even having garage parties with neighbors. The drink of this spring and summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs and 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Spring is here. Are you giving your yard the best chance at being healthy and green? Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn to get your sprinklers ready to go for the season if they haven't been working properly. They're also scheduling installs for new sprinkler systems if you don't have one. So make sure you contact them early to get a bid as soon as possible. Plus, they're your one place to go for 5-step fertilizer and pesticide application and lawn aeration. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Join us at Cactus by Venue for our new America's Favorites menu. We're keeping your favorite dips and tacos and adding brand new dishes, including delicious steaks, burgers, pastas, and more. Focusing on vibrant casual dining using a blend of fresh ingredients prepared from scratch. Located at 56 and Highway 2 in the Edgewood Shopping Center, see the whole menu online at cactusbyvenue.com and order yours to go at venuedelivered.com. Cactus by Venue, America's Favorites.
Naloxone is a drug used to safely reverse an opioid overdose and is now more readily available in Nebraska. I'm Dr. Rob Rhodes, a Nebraska family practice physician. I encourage you to learn how to respond to an opioid overdose and administer naloxone to potentially save a life by getting the free Opie Rescue app for your phone. Be Opie ready. Download Opie Rescue.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. Springtime is here, and that means you're outside more in nice weather and maybe even having garage parties with neighbors. The drink of this spring and summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs and 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Culligan of Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Ticket Water Cooler, and it's a special water coolery day, I suppose, because Strick is, we should have probably just had him on the road as he's driving, but I think he's on his way, moving to Nebraska, so he might be out for today and tomorrow, so Nate's going to stick around with me.
Stuck with me.
Yep.
Talking about McChickens and haircuts.
And Virginia Tech. I know we'll get to there eventually.
Yeah, we will. You got that right. Look, again, if they make it to Omaha, you might not see me for a few days.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. I might be MIA.
What if they win the title?
Honestly, because they have never won a championship in a team sport.
Really?
As a school, they've never won a national championship in a team sport, and they've never been to the College World Series. So just the fact that they make it there, things would get a little weird. That's all I'll say. Things can get out of control quick.
Well, we'll be looking forward to that. I'll be cheering for the Hokies and see what they do
Nice.
in the regional. It'll be exciting to see which teams wind up there, because I always do the same thing where I look at it and be like, all right, here's the 8 teams that look like, the top 8 teams or whatever, and you usually see like 4 of them. So it's just kind of random who the rest of the teams are that get in there. So it'll be fun. College World Series just around the corner. But let's go to box history lessons. It's the year of 2012. It's been a few days. We've been doing these whenever it's not too busy, and there's plenty to talk about. But we've got a long time to talk. So let's go our 2012 theme song that's going to get us in the mood for 2012 here. Oh, there
nice.
Very 2012
Yes.
song. Can't even say the name of the song. But it is Jay-Z and Kanye
This
West.
is very 2012.
Oh, yes.
Very 2012.
What they have, what's that? That's not even the Will Ferrell little sound bites that they threw in here, too. That's kind of weird.
Oh, from
It's like that skating movie.
Is it Talladega Nights?
Was it? I thought that was the
Or no, maybe
skating
it's
movie.
Anchorman.
I thought it was what's the movie with oh, now I'm forgetting his name.
Because I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I all want you to
Napoleon Dynamite's in there, but it's
no, I think it's it might be Anchorman.
It might be, but in any case, it was just like accepted. I don't know why to throw that movie clip
that's
in
gonna drive me
to a
absolutely
hit.
crazy. Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory. Yes, that's what
Blades
it
of
was.
Glory.
Yeah.
Yes,
Excellent.
yes. Okay, thank you, texters.
Well, in any case, 2012 was Nebraska's second year in the Big Ten. Of course,
It's already
2011 didn't go. Yeah, we can only play a
again?
minute. You want to play again? Yeah, we play it over.
We haven't even
All right.
started. Here we go.
Nebraska's second year in the Big Ten, and of kind of a breakout year, I suppose, for passing Taylor Martinez, because he's mostly seen as a running threat, but had a great year to be a co-offensive player of the year, actually, that year. Before all that, Nebraska didn't even hold a spring game. It was the first time they did not have a spring game since 1950 because of weather. But at least myself and plenty of people there got free Runza and Valentinos on our way out. So there was at least something there to it. In any case, the team here was pretty solid. You've got Amir Abdullah and Taylor Martinez and of course, Kenny Bell and Quincy Enunwa. So you had a lot of offensive firepower. Their kind of defensive stalwarts were kind of moving on. Alfonso Dennard, Jared Crick, Levante David, all moved on. Obviously, Ndamukong Suh, Prince Mukar, those guys were already long gone. So
Burkhead's still on the team.
Burkhead. I'm just saying the defense isn't as strong as it had been. And you might see that kind of play out a few times in this season. Nebraska opened up with a 49-20 win over Southern Miss. They take their number 16 rank over into the Rose Bowl to play UCLA and fall short 36-30 on Fox national television game. That was a bit of a surprise and a disappointment. Not as much as the next season's loss to UCLA. So we'll kind of get into that next season. But they responded with a 42-13 victory over Gus Malzahn in Arkansas State. Beat Idaho State to 73-7 before taking on Wisconsin and coming back to beat them 30-27.
Nice.
Still to this day, the last time that Nebraska has beaten Wisconsin, unfortunately, and would set up a rematch for later. I was on the call in that game, and I remember at halftime I walked by Barry Alvarez, and one of his guys was kind of happy, like Nebraska just did some mistake there at the end. Wisconsin's up like 20-6 or something. The guy's like celebrating and be like, "This is great, don't you think?" And Barry just didn't even like blink. Just kept walking.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, so it was very kind of cool because the Nebraska, like I said, came back a lot that year. Came back at that game and won 30-27. The excitement and that was the first alternate uniform game for Nebraska. They had a giant in on their chest, and Wisconsin had a giant W. Very hard to see who was who from where I was sitting in the stadium. In any case, they ended up losing to Urban Meyer in his first go around, 63-38. They beat Nebraska. That was in the Horseshoe. Nebraska then, though, did respond with a 29-28 comeback victory over Northwestern, a 23-9 victory over Denard Robinson and number 20 Michigan. They then beat Michigan State 28-24 with a last minute or so pass to Jamal Turner from Taylor Martinez. Victory over Penn State 32-23. They were reeling off victories.
This is a pretty good winning
38-14
streak,
victory over Minnesota. Yeah, and then beat Iowa 13-7. And they were the Legends Division champions. last time Nebraska's won a division. And maybe the last time
wow.
ever, because they're going to take away divisions unless Nebraska wins this upcoming year. In any case, so they went on to take on Wisconsin, and Wisconsin was like 8-4. They weren't too well respected at that time, but Penn State and Ohio State were both on sanctions. Both had better records, and both would have been in the Big Ten championship game if not for those sanctions. But Wisconsin gets the go at it. There's been reported from players on the team that Nebraska, because they already beat Wisconsin, maybe didn't prepare or think there was going to be as big of a challenge as there was. They ended up losing 70-31 in a game that would never end. Taylor Martinez had a miraculous touchdown run. Kenny Bell had one of the best blocks in college football, but other than those two highlights, it was tough. End arounds killed Nebraska all day long. We've gone over those stats before about, I think Wisconsin threw the ball maybe 7 times.
Oh my God.
And just ran the ball over and over and over again.
Who's the running back?
Pick your. I mean, Monte Ball was the lead
Monte
back at that
Ball,
time. But James White, Melvin Gordon, and somebody else prominent was pretty. They just said they had a stacked room. After that, Nebraska drew kind of a weird matchup with Georgia. Georgia was basically one play away from the championship game. They lost to Alabama in the SEC championship game, basically at the goal line. The winner was going to go to the BCS National Championship to play undefeated Notre Dame and Manti Te'o and his girlfriend.
Goodness.
But so somehow they drew Georgia. That was weird.
It was Tommy Reese.
Ended up losing 45-31.
That was a good team.
I like Tommy Reese. Yeah, big Tommy Reese guy.
Oh, yeah.
No. That was Everett Golson. Everett Golson.
It was Everett Golson.
Freshman Everett Golson.
Yes, Everett Golson was nice.
He was.
That's a great memory.
Not
Buck.
Florida
I'm
State.
impressed.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
I'm very impressed.
Kind of
Are you
impressed.
sure? So Tommy Reese would have been after?
I think he was there. I think that
Because Jimmy Clausen was before. Jimmy Clausen was awesome. Jimmy Clausen was really
I think Golson took Reese's job, basically. I don't think Reese finished his career as the starter, if I remember correctly.
Maybe.
I have to go back and look.
You might be right. That Notre Dame defense was really good, though.
Yeah, it was.
And they got absolutely shellacked by Alabama, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Also, Colin Klein was a pretty big deal that day.
Colin
or that
Klein,
year.
yeah.
That was nice.
Was Jeff Samardzija on that? No, Jeff Samardzija.
Jeff Samardzija.
Jeff Samardzija, pitcher.
I watched Jeff Samardzija pitch when I went to the Giants game
That's
one time.
actually really cool.
That was cool. I'm a big college football fan, so Jeff Samardzija was a great great player at Notre
yes,
Dame. Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Receiver. But in any case,
This isn't about Notre Dame. Sorry,
Notre Dame's got some cool guys.
They do have some cool guys. I mean, Brady Quinn to Jeff Samardzija. That was the hook.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome.
I'm trying to think if they had. No, never. I'm moving to go off the.
They had Tommy Zibikowski.
Yeah,
he was really good too. His punt return.
Yeah, they maybe we'll just talk about Notre Dame players at some point and drive half the people away because there's a lot of hatred for Notre Dame.
There's a lot of hatred for Notre Dame.
I actually one time I wore I got like this Notre Dame jacket that I wore around here, and it was kind of weird because I don't know how else to say this, but I felt like it's just like wearing it around. I felt like I was perceived as Catholic.
Really? I wear Notre Dame stuff all the time. Like I probably have 2-3 Notre Dame jerseys, ton of shirts. My dad went to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So
Is
I'm
he
a huge
Catholic?
Notre
Are you
Dame
Catholic?
fan. No. Neither of us are Catholic, but we're a huge Notre Dame family.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
See, because I do that too. That's why I kind of perceive it was like if I see somebody that's cheering for Notre Dame, I figure the Catholic. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I am Irish.
You are Irish.
I am Irish,
Oh.
so I can go for that. But I don't really know if there's much of a connection. There's definitely connection with Catholicism.
Yeah.
People are Catholic, but
Touchdown
Big-
Jesus.
I know. I've been to campus a few times too. I've been
Have
to a
you?
game in South Bend. Oh yeah.
Oh, I need to go to a
Big
game in
Notre
South
Dame
Bend.
fan.
Oh
I
yeah.
can talk about, but I don't want to talk about. That's the one team. Them and like Duke basketball. You either love it or you hate them.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming people in Nebraska, you probably hate Notre Dame.
Mostly hate Notre Dame, but at least Nebraska got the best of Notre Dame in their early 2000s series.
Nice.
And took
That'd
over
be a
South
good
Bend.
series.
one year.
They should
Yes.
bring that back.
Oh, they
actually.
absolutely should. That was awesome. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're actually wrapping up the show, I suppose. But it'll be the same two of us here for On the Block coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.